Ramiex back with another video. In today's video, so I'll suggest is what if Naruto had the ultimate dojutsu on part 1. This is a new what if on the channel, so I hope you guys all enjoy. Most of this video is going to be off script or off the top of my head, whatever works for you guys. If you guys enjoy this type of video, well, let me know. And I might daily upload depending on how I feel, as I haven't put out a what if for a minute. But if you do love my what ifs and you want to see more of them, check out my second channel, which will be in the description down below. And with that being said, let's begin. So first off, this what if's going to be a lot, let's say, different, as this is going to be what if Naruto ultimate dojutsu. So there's going to be a lot of things that we can work with, per se. Naruto in this timeline is going to be born just like he was in canon, as you guys decided on this what if, so that's that. But and he's gonna get this dojutsu from the Namikaze clan, which is where this dojutsu is going to come from. But not only from the Namikaze clan, the Uzumaki clan as well. You see, since we never saw the Uzumaki besides Kushina, Hashirama, Mito, and Minato go out of the bloodline, I believe that we will say, for story's sake, when an Uzumaki has a child with somebody outside of the clan, a dojutsu is made, and this dojutsu will be known as the ultimate dojutsu. And with that out of the way, we can now, well, get into the story, as we are finished covering the backstory. Naruto would be born in the night of the Nine-Tails attack, as both Minato and Kushina would pass on, as they would entrust their son, Uzumaki Naruto, with the fate of the Leaf Village, as he is the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. Hiruzen would pick up a young Naruto, as he would actually raise Naruto in this timeline. Naruto would learn the fire-style chakra nature, as well as the wind-style chakra nature, from the help of Hiruzen and Asuma. Over the course of 7 years, Naruto would be known as a prodigy throughout the Leaf Village, as he was only 7 years old and knew 2 chakra natures, something that would go down in the history books. He was a true prodigy. Naruto had created many bonds within the village, especially with who he considered his family, those being Hiruzen, who he considered his grandfather, Asuma, who he considered his brother, and Konohamaru, who he considered his younger brother. And as for Asuma, older brother, of course. Asuma had also taught Naruto lots of things, and had also taught Naruto many morals, and taught him many stories about his endeavors as a ninja, serving under the, well, Shinobi 12. An elite guard, if you will. Naruto was actually able to learn these 2 chakra natures because of his dojutsu, which allowed Naruto to use all 5 chakra natures, because it's, well, ultimate. Naruto only doesn't have the other 5 chakra natures because, well, they never thought that he had them. Just having 2 at Naruto's age was, well, more than enough, and they thought that 2 was all he had, but we'll come to find out later on that Naruto has many more chakra natures. We now have a time skip of 1 year, as Naruto has now acquired a sword and has joined the academy. Naruto, while at the academy, did well, but he didn't want to be at the academy, as everything that was spoken by Iruka and academy teachers alike, like Mizuki, were things he already knew, except for the Shadow Clone Jutsu, or the Clone Jutsu for short. So Naruto would always be absent, eventually getting the worst grades in the academy, especially because he was already failing at the Clone Jutsu, even with his superior grades, as his superior training and his, well, he's just a better Naruto all around, so he's much stronger. So while at the academy, he did much better, but even so, if he's not there, if he's absent, well then, he's not really going to get any grades. Put it this way, if you're at school and you're doing pretty well, you're scoring 100 out of 100 on a math test, but then you're absent for every other test in the year, are you going to have good grades? Probably not, because some other tests are going to be of greater stature. They're going to matter more, as opposed to the test that you did at the start of the year, as opposed to the one that you do at the end of the year. So it's just common knowledge that Naruto here is going to, well, be the worst academy student, just like in canon. Eventually, 4 more years would pass, as Naruto would gain access to 2 more chakra natures, those being water and lightning. By this point, Hiruzen is dumbfounded in a way. He's not truly dumbfounded, but he's just surprised that Naruto had all these chakra natures, especially because Minato and Kushina, well, didn't have 4 chakra natures each. They only had 2 to 3. Naruto would continue to train vigorously as he would start to gain some recognition as a true prodigy. Of course, you can be called a prodigy as Kakashi was in the war or other ninja alike, but Naruto is truly getting that reputation. Naruto is rising through the ranks per se, very quickly, and he wasn't even a genin. But at this point, Naruto has the level of skill of a Chunin, but not just a normal Chunin, a high Chunin at that. As a low Chunin, I would say that they would never be able to have 4 chakra natures. So you could even call them low Jonin level if you're pushing it. Anyhow, Naruto, like I said before, would have this 4-year time skip, which would cause him to also obtain greater taijutsu skill, as Naruto would be forced by who he calls his grandfather, that being Hiruzen, to join a team. And that team, well, it was Team 7. Meaning that Naruto at this point is 12 years old, and, well, he would be placed on Team 7 because of Kakashi. Also, if I didn't make this clear, Kakashi and Naruto, which I didn't think I stated this, but Kakashi and Naruto do have a relationship. They're like uncle and nephew, if that makes sense. A bit of an interesting relationship between the two. That does make sense, at least in my opinion. And Kakashi and Naruto train regularly together, though Kakashi usually beats Naruto. But let me add, Naruto is not going full power, and we have some things that Naruto has not shown to Kakashi for obvious reasons. Anyhow, Naruto would then be explained the rules of the bell test along with Team 7 at his side, as Sakura, Naruto, and Sasuke would arrive at the training grounds a day after to start the bell test. Kakashi would be late as Naruto would grab some, well, rice crackers he had in his pocket and would start eating them. As Sasuke and Sakura would tell Naruto that he shouldn't be disobeying Kakashi Sensei's orders, as Naruto would tell them that he knows Kakashi and knew he'd be late, so he stacked up on some snacks in the case of him being late. Sasuke and Sakura would say, so he did it on purpose? He wanted us to be weaker? Yeah, kinda. Naruto would then toss each Sakura and Sasuke 2 rice crackers as they would eat them. Rice crackers are decently big, so they would feed them at least a little bit. Nothing like a meal or anything of the sort, but it was enough for them to eat while they waited for Kakashi. Kakashi would then arrive, as Kakashi would tell them that they disobeyed his orders and actually ate, as he could smell the food on their breaths. Naruto would then tell Kakashi that it doesn't matter if he's late. Actually, he shouldn't even be scolding them about anything. He's supposed to be their sensei, and as a sensei of their team, well, he should be early for these types of things. Kakashi would scratch the back of his head, laughing a little, as he would nod. I guess you're right, Naruto. As he would then get into a fighting stance. Kakashi, that is. Kakashi would then tell Naruto that he won't hold back just because they're great friends or, family, as they say. They're sworn brothers, if you will. They're just, like, basically what I'm trying to say is that Kakashi and Naruto at this point are family, and that's that. Anyhow, Kakashi would then say that he won't hold back, as he would rush towards Naruto. Naruto would quickly dodge, as he would appear at the other end of the forest, far away from Kakashi, about 100 meters to be exact. Sakura and Kakashi would then lock eyes, as Kakashi would immediately turn his head to look at Sasuke, who would do a backflip, firing off an Uchiha-style Great Fireball Jutsu at Kakashi, who would fire his own fireball back. Kakashi would say. How strange. A genin knowing fire style. It takes up quite a lot of chakra. He must be confident. Well, let's see how far that gets him. Kakashi would then rush over to Sasuke, as he would engage in kunai to kunai combat. Kakashi being, well, an expert with kunai usage, and Sasuke being a genin who, well, barely knew too much about kunai or how to use them. It was basically, I guess you could call it not a fair fight, but it was enough. Kakashi would shake his head as he would tell Sasuke that he's had enough fun, as he would then kick Sasuke to the ground. Sasuke would then be on the ground looking up at Kakashi, who would throw his kunai to the floor and very close to Sasuke's head. Sasuke, don't ever falter like you did right now. You tensed up and couldn't do a thing when I threw that kunai. If you were to dodge, it would be a different story. But let me tell you this, on the battlefield, if I were an enemy ninja, somebody who is against the Leaf Village, somebody who is your enemy, well then, you would be dead. Sasuke would come to this realization very quickly as he thought to himself, if I can't even defeat Kakashi, how can I defeat Itachi, my elder brother? How can I do it? Sasuke would then have a flashback inside of his own head of when they had the Bell test introductions, which I forgot to mention, but they did have them, as he would remember saying that he wanted to kill a certain someone. Kakashi would then look dead in Sasuke's eyes as he would tell Sasuke, if you want to kill that certain someone, then you'll have to get stronger, strong enough to defeat me. Sasuke would smirk. I guess you're right. Sasuke would then pull out what he called his trump card, which is basically just a paper bomb, which would explode in Kakashi's face as Kakashi would block. Sasuke would then create some distance between both he and Kakashi as Naruto would appear, unsheathing his blade. Sasuke, get out of my way. You're dealing with Kakashi, a ninja of the Jonin rank, somebody who you probably couldn't beat in a million years, at least not in your current state. You're too weak to fight him, so at least accept my aid. No, Naruto, I can't. I thought you'd say something like that. Well, then we must work together. I don't care if your pride is on the line. I guess I can work with you, Naruto. We are teammates anyways. Also, Sasuke doesn't really hate Naruto, or doesn't really even dislike him, as he doesn't really know Naruto. Since Naruto wasn't really at the academy to, quote-unquote, piss him off, there was no reason for him to not like Naruto, and as such, he kind of enjoyed Naruto's presence. He was a strong shinobi, at least in his mind, who Sasuke needed to catch up to, and who Sasuke could use as a goal, a measure to his power, to his own power. So, Sasuke would. It was something that he had to do. He had to measure his own power against Naruto, so he would accept to ally himself with Naruto for this battle. Naruto would then tell Sasuke to tell Sakura to stall Kakashi just for a few seconds. So, Sasuke would yell to Sakura to throw a few kunai at Kakashi as she would. Since they said this plan out loud, Kakashi would easily deflect these kunai, as Sakura would then fall to the ground, blushing a little, as Sakura would be told by Sasuke that she did well. Sasuke would then be told by Naruto to stall Kakashi just for a moment, as Sasuke would engage in combat with his sensei. Kakashi and Sasuke would then swap blows just for a little bit, as Naruto would immediately make distance between himself and their fight, putting together both of his hands as he would do, or I guess you could say, he would summon the ultimate jutsu, known as the Multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu. You see, Naruto, knowing that he would be a ninja soon enough, had been peeping around a little in the Hokage office to look for some jutsu that would be able to help him in his voyage to becoming the greatest Hokage, as that is his dream, to be acknowledged by each and every person in the village, to be known as Naruto, one of the Hokages of the Leaf, or to be more exact, the strongest Hokage in the Leaf Village, or of the Leaf Village, however you want to put it. So, Naruto, knowing that he may be on the battlefield, that his teammates' lives may be at stake, he knew that he needed some new jutsu that could protect them. So this jutsu was it. Naruto would then yell out, Multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu, as 20 shadow clones would rush towards Kakashi, aiding Sasuke, as Kakashi was able to easily deal with them and Sasuke, but it was still holding him back a little. Naruto would then tell Sasuke to hold on just a little bit longer, as Sasuke would smirk, telling Naruto no problem, as Naruto would then put his hands together yet again as he would yell out Multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu. This time, 100 shadow clones would be summoned, as 25 would go in front of Kakashi, 25 behind, 25 to Kakashi's left, 25 to Kakashi's right. What is this? Kakashi thought as he would activate his Sharingan. This would push Sasuke off guard as he looked into Kakashi's eyes. Are those? No way. I must be imagining it, Sasuke thought to himself as he would ask Kakashi where and how the hell he got the Sharingan. Kakashi would then say that an old friend gave it to him, as Sasuke would grit his teeth. Old friend, huh? Naruto would then yell out, 5 Chakra Nature's Jutsu. From the front would be Earth style. From the back would be Wind style. From the left would be Water style. From the right, would be Lightning style. And Naruto himself would jump up top and fire off a Fire style. Fireball Jutsu. You see, Naruto, in this moment, somehow, the briefest moment of all, he was able to, master Earth style. Of course, as I explained before, this was his dojutsu. He just has always had Earth style, but he never, tapped into it, or whatever you want to call it. And he also never knew he had it, so it was, it just kind of happened. Naruto would then fire off this jutsu as he would tell Sasuke to run, quickly grabbing Sasuke, who was too slow to evade the attack, as he would grab Sasuke and exit the vicinity of the jutsu. Kakashi would then be caught into the fray of the jutsu, or the attack's range, if you will, as well as Naruto's clones being hit, as they would all fall, and most of Naruto's clones would vanish, at least the ones who were in the middle, as Kakashi would now stand with smoke coming off of his body, and his Jonin Vesta being scratched and very roughed up, if you will. His pants had been cut at the knees, as it looked as if he were wearing shorts, and the damage done was noticeable. Kakashi was surprised. Could it be? Has he really mastered all 5 chakra natures at the measly age of 12? Naruto, have you done it? I knew you were a prodigy and all. I could tell that any moment that I saw you fight, especially for your age. But all 5 chakra natures? That's insane. That's unheard of. Naruto would then walk over to Kakashi with Sakura and Sasuke at his side, as Sasuke and Naruto would grab the bells. Naruto would then toss one of the bells to Sasuke, as Kakashi would tell them all that they pass. Naruto would then fall to the ground as he would start to pant heavily. Even though Naruto is an Uzumaki, and even though he has an extremely high amount of chakra, summoning 120 shadow clones isn't an easy task, especially making those 120 shadow clones all fire off jutsu. That's extremely a hard task, especially for Naruto, who's only 12 at this point. Naruto would then lift his belt, or lift the belt that he was holding, to the sky as he would laugh. We did it, Sasuke. Sakura. We are now Genin. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura would then return home, as they would basically just fall asleep, and the next day they would return to the training grounds, as they would meet up with Kakashi, as they would do some D-rank missions with him. While on these D-rank missions, Naruto and Sasuke would start to get bored. They knew that these D-rank missions were too boring. They were too boring for them to just sit around and do. They wanted a C-rank mission very badly. As for Sakura, she was fine with them. They were right where she was in skill, pretty trash. No, I'm just playing. But they were right where she was in skill, and she was fine with it. She was fine with doing the D-rank missions as long as, she got to do them with with her team. But Sasuke and Naruto's request would then be met by Hiruzen, who would let Team 7 go on a C-rank mission to the Land of Waves. Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi, basically Team 7, it is Team 7, would arrive at the Land of Waves, as Tazuna would show them to where he was building the bridge, as they would start the construction of the bridge, with Naruto creating shadow clones to speed up the building process. Eventually, Haku and Zabuza would arrive. Naruto still does meet Haku in this timeline, and the Inari scene goes the same. Except for Naruto saying that he also has Hiruzen and Iruka. Anyhow, Naruto would then, well, start to fight Haku and Zabuza with Team 7, as Kakashi would fight Zabuza, Sakura would guard Tazuna, and Sasuke would be fighting Haku, as Naruto would rush into Haku's ice mirrors to aid Sasuke. But Haku was too fast. And with that out of the way, this has been What If Naruto had the Ultimate Dojutsu. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys can smash that like button, as I want to hit 9K by August and 14K by the end of the year. And by August, I mean the end of August, as August 31st is my birthday. But with that out of the way, RamiX out. But before I leave, I hope you all enjoyed today's videos. I want to stress that out a lot. Please give me some feedback down below, as this is my first non-scripted full video, basically, or almost full video on the channel, as I have non-scripted a bit of videos. Actually, most of my videos on this channel, a little bit of it is off the top of my head. I add some things, right? You know, creative plot twist. But check out down below in the description. Sorry for all the but down below is my second channel, where I also do some more what ifs, and hope you all enjoy. So with that out of the way.